Hi, welcome to This is Earthium. So the last episode was the first half of the interview with the Oracle, Frederic, and it was mostly about business. And today's episode is the second half, and it will be about gameplay and metaverses. And hold on, something big is coming. Okay, so there's a business simulation coming, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Using the exact same tools, we are paid by corporates to train entrepreneurs, and we are taking shares in startup projects to train them on these tools.
How confident are you that this will work in a game, in a computer game, in Earthium?
First, from the dojo and startup makers point of view, we work on these tools for now 7 years in a row. And after 7 years, the total amount of students we train on these tools each year is around 1,000. Not bad at all. For Earthium to be a success on this point of view, we need to have a few thousand players really interested in working on this. And we will have made more to disseminate the tools than what we are doing for several years with corporate and universities.
Do you use the game in your trainings, or is it something new that is coming inspired on the training content?
This is gamified since day one. So as it's gamified, it's not always sure when you change the support of a game coming from a tabletop to a video game or something like this.
Yeah.
It doesn't always work, but yes, we are strongly confident. I do my homework, and doing my homework, I tested Hearthstone a few years ago. I'm looking at Axie Infinity. I'm playing basically Earth 2, After Earth, Next Earth, Metaverse.
Earthium can be very overwhelming for newcomers, right? That even the concept can be weird at this point. What? I'm buying virtual land? That's crap, you know?
Yeah.
Now what? There's crypto, and there's a lot, and there's treasure chests, and there's this, and there's that, and this all seems a lot. I believe it might scare some people away, although those who understand it, like me and others, we love it, right? But I do understand that, and the more we build on the game, the more complex it becomes. So,
did you have a look at Axie Infinity?
I haven't yet. I haven't.
Okay, Axie Infinity, you've got genome crossing of axes. This game has been made by a biologist, I think. You have to understand genomics to be an optimizer, to be a great gamer on Axie Infinity.
You play Axie?
No, I have no time.
But they have a wonderful tutorial to get you into the game.
That's the thing we need to work more on. Yeah. But these are different steps in the development of a community. At first, you have a low number community. So it's better to speak directly with people. I'm spending a lot of time. You are the first generation of players. Yeah. And now you're spending a lot of time making videos or speaking and answering questions on the Discord. I perfectly agree. We need the tutorials, and we need a wizard and some info pops popping out and saying this is how it works, and some more videos and so on and so on. But this is a lot of work to do when you pass from hundreds to tens of thousands of people, somewhere in the middle, probably at the thousands people. It will be overkill to spend much of our energy on this compared to the fact to prove to people that we keep our promises, that we deliver, and that we deliver at a rhythm which is just incredible. We are moving faster than the expectation of the players.
Yes. Do you think it still makes sense, the Explorer? Was it an idea that maybe it does not fit anymore?
No, it's not that. Explorer was the part supposed to be the freemium part of the game. The Explorer is still a whole part of the game that will come, that's the Indiana Jones Lara Croft part. But the fact to have a first Explorer that is the freemium part, it was not more used. So we prefer to delay this part. Because we have the freemium part from the Discord and from the airdrops. Sometimes we have to change the gameplay because we have the order of priorities changed. Let's take another example. We were announcing from the beginning that first you could activate a property and have manaless production, resource points.
Yeah.
Then you could manage the property with the units and have the 4 kind of tokens, community building, CO, capacities, CA, legacy, LA, and business development, BD. And as a matter of fact, it's already developed. It's okay. I can activate properties, but I can activate properties to give the 4 tokens right now. And so I'm just considering changing the gameplay and introducing, as soon as the activation, the 4 colored mana. At some points, Laurent and myself, we are just like children on phone saying, oh, but we could do this. You think it's long? Oh, I think it's a few hours. Okay, let's do it now. And we are having this enthusiasm, and it's required to sustain ourselves in this project.
Actually, as we're talking today, I realized there's this resource thing that popped up in the menu.
Yeah, that's it.
So, okay. So everyone is kind of curious about it. Cool.
It's very simple. Currently, I can, okay, let's be a little bit technical. I can reach the ID of a specific property in the database and say, okay, now it's active, and this is the rhythm of production of each resources of this specific property. The interesting point is we can change the order of priority.
Sometimes I wonder, okay, what's going to happen? What's when the world, everyone has the world. Now, if you were given, and even give players a chance, guys, let's start over. You get your money, you get your stuff, and now I know exactly what to do from the start. So,
if I could go back in time, the only thing I will do is no. Tiles bought with credits don't offer treasure chests. It distorted the game economics at first, but at the same time, it allowed the birth of Tiles art. That's probably the only point I would totally change if I could get back in time. Even if, like anybody, I have some nightmares saying, maybe I messed up this part and so on. Yes, but that's the life of a game designer, and we can adapt, we can adjust. That's why I introduced the parliament. So no problem about it. Now, if you speak about maybe we are launching our ammunitions too fast and so on, and with not enough players, and we will regret at some point and so on. Let's give a spoiler. If you read the brochure, if you read the background story, you see that it's about parallel Earths.
Yeah.
Earths.
Yeah.
The plural.
Yeah.
So
are you saying that? Okay, I don't want to spoil it too much because I don't know, but what I take from there is that there might be a new Earth for us to buy if more players come. So if you don't have the Eiffel Tower in version 1, you can get it in version 2. Is that something like that?
So next name is Naturam. Naturam is already defined. Naturam has not exactly the same game mechanics. Naturam has not exactly the same backing assets, because as the name includes, Naturam will be more about having impact, NGOs, and so on, more than buying gold, buying shares, and making profit to sustain the rec. And it will be a different cryptocurrency. But yes, when we have finished opening the time zones on Earthium, probably a little bit earlier to have a crossover and so on, we will launch Naturam, and we will launch Naturam not in the same order of time zones.
Okay.
Beginning in Europe, and not finishing in Europe, for example. Why? Because this will be a new opportunity for landmarks.cards players to get new cards.
Mm-hmm. All right.
And as a matter of fact, landmarks.cards is a way to avoid the people saying, hey, you're just trying to milk the cow away again, and so on. No, because different mechanism, different business model, and another way to get the cards. So the cards is the link between the different metaverses.
Okay.
So it will not be an infinite list, but there are several predefined projects additional to Earthium.
So let's think of it as new boards coming where you can buy more stuff.
Exactly.
Okay.
And the game being about astral travelers trying to have influence on the metaverse meaning several parallel Earths thing.
At the same time, people that have lands in Earthium, it loses a little bit of value.
No, not really. Why would you lose more value on your Earthium lands because we are launching Naturam than because some Korean people are launching Metaverse too? Metaverses will be like crypto. In 3 years, there will be hundreds of metaverses. Hundreds, it's sure. Some of them will be scammed. Some of them will not be scammed, but will be big failures. Some of them will be by teams unprofessional. But a lot of them will be by real teams really working to create something with different visions and so on. So if in 3 years we've got something like, let's say, 500 different metaverses, why will Earthium lose less value on their lands from the fact that we have added Naturam than from the fact that another team has added another metaverse?
Would a player from Earthium, would the credits could be used to buy stuff in Naturam?
No, it's a new community, it's a new game,
new stuff.
New stuff. And that's why I made the comparison with other metaverses. Having the same team launching 3 metaverses among 500, or we have just one of the 500 and the 2 others from external teams. It will be easy for me to dissimulate, to obfuscate. I take another team, I put somebody else on the head and so on. But it's not a good idea. The best idea is to say we will be part of several metaverses with different combinations, game mechanics, different level of complexity, different kind of choices.
And you are totally committed to keeping the top. It seems to me that you are you can be a little bit obsessive with getting where you want it to go. Like when you start a booking.
Yeah, that's a required quality to be successful in entrepreneurship, basically. You have to find the difficult equilibrium between being obsessed and very difficult to convince to change road, and open to new ideas from other people, including no problem of ego saying, oh shit, I messed up. Yeah, you're right. I have to do it some other way. You're right. It's a difficult equilibrium, but I am good on both of them. I have no ego about saying, okay, you're right, your solution is better than mine. We are getting people like Riot Games, like Facebook coming in the metaverse. Could you seriously think that we will be the winners against Facebook? No, we can have a part of the pie, or we can be successful enough for them to say, we want to invest in your company and so on. We want to be in the serious ones, managed by professional team, delivering quality and having really interesting and original mechanics and finding an audience.
Which I think
10,000 players on 1 million, honestly, it's secondary.
Yeah.
I feel that in 1 year or 2 years, the ecosystem will be more about serious projects working together in the same omniverse.
Would you accept if you were invited to go to Earth 2 to develop content for them?
Oh, yes, why not? Earth 2, to be fair, Earth 2 is the main danger for us now, but not because of the success of Earth 2. If Earth 2 crashes right now, that's the main danger for us. Because for a lot of people, it will mean all these kind of things are a fail.
Yeah, it's
dreams. So we want Earth 2 to succeed. So yes, I would agree to work with Earth 2. I would agree to work with anybody sincerely trying to build something.
Wow. So this was a lot of big news in this interview, right? So let's see what the future will bring us and all the metaverses. Thank you for watching. This is Earthium. Please like, subscribe, and patata.